Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salute. Talking point platform for news every day. Now we country salute. For education, entertainment, political affairs, TV. We put enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit TV.
Officials and members of the diplomatic corps on the cocktail that will be organized here today in President Julius Maad in the U.S. when he had 184 support for the bid, and also this year during the elections, they won in a landslide mark of 188 out of 194. So 4 more votes were added during the course of time before the elections. And today they are here to celebrate the victory of President Julius.
But also on the external front, we've been getting to the president engaging in solid diplomacy at the highest level, including interaction with our friends and partners at the diplomatic and consular corps, as well as international organizations accredited to Sierra Leone, both resident and non-resident, through our mission. This was to ensure that Sierra Leone is once again and indispensable with an enhanced voice and representation on the multilateral stage. Excellencies,
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
Your Excellency President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Taheed Julius Maad, Madam First Lady, Ministers and Deputy Ministers of Government, here present, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished guests and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this event to celebrate the election of Sierra Leone as a member of the United Nations Security Council in the non-permanent category for the period 2024 to 2025. Last week was indeed an emergency occasion for Sierra Leone, and particularly for His Excellency the President, whose timely leadership, inspiration and support for this cause drove our campaign to get Sierra Leone once again on the ultimate global stage after 51 years. Our President has shown that our country may be small, but we are indeed a great people and nation. Your Excellency's vision to ensure that Sierra Leone stands on this most powerful decision-making organ of the United Nations at this moment global challenges to the global inspire all of us of the ministry and our foreign missions, particularly our permanent mission of Union, to work tirelessly towards this goal. As you are aware, in recent years, our country has been making significant contributions to multilateral diplomacy. We have put ourselves in UN subsidiary organs, functional committees, and processes at the UN and other organizations, including the C24, UN Women, Peace and Security and Humanitarian Action, coordinatorship of Committee of 10. We have served as President of the Armed Steering Committee, President of the Governing Council of International Organization for Migration, and chaired one of the most important subsidiary bodies of the World Trade Organization, all in Geneva. Recently, Your Excellency's assumption as chair of the Africa Plenary Women has been widely commended by your peers as well as most broadly by the international community. Permit me, Your Excellency, to recall your statement on the occasion of the formal launch of our campaign for the UN Security Council seat on the 9th of May last year. You said, and I quote, "Given the current crisis around the various geopolitical zones, there is an imperative need for Sierra Leone to occupy a more strategic position at the highest decision-making level at the United Nations, so as to be able to play a more meaningful role in the maintenance and preservation of global peace and security." End of quote. Today, Your Excellency, out of 192 member countries, 188 voted in favor of Sierra Leone at the UN in New York. This is a radiance of that vision and the accomplishments of Sierra Leone under the visionary leadership. It's a true tenet to our as a nation to ensure that we achieve the country's overall foreign policy objectives, whilst also making endeavoring improvements into the service of time. As a ministry, we will continue to work seriously align with Your Excellency's vision to achieve the foreign policy objectives as we continue to articulate them as the chief diplomat. Our gratitude is extended to all our friends and partners, particularly the diplomatic missions in Sierra Leone, whose tireless efforts to ensure that Sierra Leone takes a seat at the United Nations Security Council have been done. On that note, I welcome you all to this cocktail marking the elections in Sierra Leone to the non-parliament category of the United Nations Security Council for the period 2024 to 2025. Thank you.
The Deputy Minister of Parliament very much for reminding us of the recent announcement that Sierra Leone attained 188 countries that voted for Sierra Leone. This is indeed remarkable and outstanding. And of course, we wish to commend your efforts as the Deputy Minister and also the other members of your team, including the Director General, conducting short dependency, moving here and there. But of course, our missions are big. And in particular, we have someone here whose mission has been very instrumental and has been the forefront of all of this campaign in terms of canvassing support from the international community in the multinational organization, and that is the United Nations. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ambassador Aladdin Family to the United Nations Committee. Thank you, Director of the Uniform, His Excellency Dr. Julius Maad, Her Excellency Dr. Fatima Maad, First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Ministers of Government, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, members of the press and civil society, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am the young voice and still in awe of what we have collectively accomplished after 53 long years. When others could neither dream, think, nor dare to bid for the return to the United Nations Security Council, His Excellency, President Dr. Julius Maad dared to dream, thought of a viable foreign policy commitment, and directed his government to bid for a return to the principal order that is primarily responsible for the maintenance of international peace and security. When this chapter of our history ends on paper, one central theme would be the foresight, decisive and transformational leadership of His Excellency President Julius Maad, whose philosophy of relentless perseverance, which we refer to here as power, committed to regaining suitable status and reputation in international
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
Also informing of the important validation by the international community of Sierra Leone's international peace and security and leadership on matters of regional security as required by the UN Charter. It was indeed confirmation of a promise delivered. Our election to the UN Security Council is certainly momentous and monumental for every Sierra Leonean. Not only have we returned to the Security Council for the second time in our history, but we may also recall that only 20 years ago, we were emerging from civil conflict and on the agenda of the Security Council. Now, we will have a seat in the Security Council. This is a true definition of the transformation which Your Excellency has promised. Your Excellency, I fully agree with your description of our return to the UN Security Council as a generational achievement and accomplishment. And I hasten to add that it is not an isolated accomplishment. As part of your commitment to rebrand and position Sierra Leone strategically to take its vital place in the community of nations, you have effectively led the African Union Committee of 10 on the return of the UN Security Council in ensuring significant progress is made on the issue. For the very first time, a permanent member of the UN Security Council has tabled a proposal to have at least one permanent seat for Africa. Even though this is not in line with the common African position calls for at least 2 permanent seats, this is a significant acknowledgement of the legitimate claims of Africa under your leadership. Furthermore, Your Excellency's delivery on the free quality education in Sierra Leone attracted international recognition, including the UN Secretary General, who invited Your Excellency to co-chair the Transformation Education Summit last year at the UN headquarters. As His Excellency the President delivered on his gender commitment in Sierra Leone together with Madam First Lady, they pioneered 3 seminal resolutions in the United Nations General Assembly to provide access to justice for victims and survivors of sexual violence, to urgently address the situation of widows, and to increase awareness of child sexual abuse, declaring a World Day for the prevention of and healing from child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence, which Madam First Lady had a similar opportunity to present at the UN headquarters on behalf of President Dr. Julius Maad. The election and appointment of Sierra Leoneans to high-profile positions in the international system is no longer an exception, but the rule. under the leadership of His Excellency President Liu. Let me highlight just a few. Her Excellency, Madam First Lady, is now appointed or has been appointed by the UN Secretary General as a member of the Advisory Board of Eminent Persons on Zero Waste. And Minister David Moynihan Assembly, appointed member of the Committee of Experts on Public Administration by the UN General Assembly. Madam Hawa Zainab Bangura, who is unavoidably absent here, appointed under Secretary General and Director General of the United Nations Office in Nairobi by the UN Secretary General. Justice Niyata Samba, elected judge of the International Criminal Court, where our Finance Secretary, Sir Jusu, has also been elected as a member of the Committee on Budget and Finance. And of course, Mr. Ibrahim Suri Esquire, elected member and serves as Vice Chair of the Board of the Trust Fund for Victims. We also have Professor Charles Jama, who was re-elected member of the International Law Commission with an unprecedented highest African vote and second highest vote overall. Ambassador Andrew Mandani was also elected and re-elected to the UN International Civil Service Commission. I can go on and on, including my roles as that of the Deputy on the organs of the UN, the International Criminal Court, and the International Civil Authority, if time had permitted. As I draw to a close, Your Excellency President Liu, permit me to take this opportunity to express my profound gratitude to you for your confidence and trust in giving me this unprecedented privilege to lead from the front line in ensuring our return to the UN Security Council. I am immensely grateful for your vision, leadership, and support, committing the whole of your government to the success of our bid to the UN Security Council. Allow me to also commend my dedicated team in New York for their hard work, excellence, and dedication throughout the process. As I speak, the team led by the Deputy Permanent Representatives are busy consolidating our gains for the 2 years tenure at the UN Security Council. Ambassador Dr. Imran Khan, the Deputy Permanent Representative for Legal Affairs, has been at the center of the process to get Sierra Leone to the UN Security Council, and our team at the UN in New York. Ambassador Amara Sowa, who joined at a critical moment, hit the ground running and has been a valuable part of the incredible team. The diplomatic staff have all been excellent. I cannot name everyone, but Minister Chancellor Mr. Alan George and our indefatigable elections officer, Mrs. Minda Senesi, deserve to be mentioned. As I speak, the core of the team is still busy in New York working to secure yet another election success, and that is in the election of judges of the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea. Your Excellency's government, in demonstrating national cohesion and ensuring competent Sierra secure positions in the international system, nominated and has fully supported Sierra Leone's candidate, Ambassador Usman K. Kamara, who was a member of the All People's Congress, and now he was also ambassador and deputy permanent representative in New York and also in the African Union. Your new direction has set Sierra Leone on a golden and respected path at the UN, and for this, we thank Your Excellency for the vision and leadership. I also want to express my gratitude to the Foreign Minister, Professor Dr. Francis, who is unavoidably absent here, for his unflinching support to me throughout the process. I can only join in the call for the people of Sierra Leone to repay Your Excellency for your excellent hard work with more work and re-elect you as President of the Republic of Sierra Leone for the very second time.
Thank you very much, Excellency, for that resounding reaffirmation that ceremony is really found in the global stage. And this is all thanks to his own legislators and his Excellency, the President, who has been that driving force and has been an inspiration and support, not only to the ministry, but also to the mission. And of course, we should acknowledge the efforts of the Thematic team and without any knowledge to continue to do the work that has already now started in terms of serving really and management to the country. But in the President continues to foster strong relationships with multilateral institutions, and this is where we have a range of institutions in serving conducting their business and building partnerships for a progressive agenda of his Excellency the President. One such office is the United Nations Coordination Office in Sierra Leone, for which we have an outstanding president, and the President Dr. Ahansi, who will now give a statement.
Your Excellency, retired Governor Dr. Julius Maad, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and Excellency, First Lady of Sierra Leone, Madam Fatima Bio, Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers, President, the distinguished Speaker, ECOWAS Parliament, other high officials of state institutions, Excellencies, members of the diplomatic and consular corps, my United Nations colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the United Nations in Sierra Leone and international development partners, I would like to congratulate His Excellency, the President, the government, and for the permanent selection as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for the period 2024 to 2025. For Sierra Leone, the core tasked with the primary responsibility for maintaining international peace and security barely 2 decades after emerging from an 11-year civil war is truly a historic national accomplishment. We must therefore thank Her Excellency the First Lady for organizing this cocktail party to mark this milestone. Anyone who knows a thing or two about multilateral processes would appreciate that a lot of effort went into getting Sierra Leone elected to the UN Security Council. So we would like to congratulate the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, the Deputy Minister, and the entire staff of the Ministry for the success of their diligence in following through with Mr. President's call for Sierra Leone to be a member of the Security Council, the non-permanent category. This was launched in May 2022. In all of these efforts, I know from being part of the UN system that Sierra Leone's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Alaji Pande Toure, also deserves to be commended for steering the bid through the various stages of the process at the UN Secretariat end in New York, and of course by extension to all staff of the permanent mission in New York. The 7 priorities that Sierra Leone will use its service on the Security Council to advance the act and should help to amplify Africa's input into the efforts of the international community at preventing conflicts, sustaining peace, and advancing global security. It's our hope that in doing so, Sierra Leone will help to elicit attention of the global community to at least two issues. First are the many forgotten wars and conflicts raging around the world, several of which are in Africa. Second is the need to invest more efforts and resources, as the U.S. Secretary General has called for repeatedly, in conflict prevention than in peacekeeping and managing conflict-induced humanitarian crises, given that we know that the former is far less costly in terms of financing, human suffering, lost lives, and also socioeconomic devastation. So for us, as part of the United Nations development system in Sierra Leone, we feel that rescuing the sustainable development goals and getting as many countries as possible back on the track of economic recovery, of inclusive, green, and sustainable economic development will be the key to preventing conflicts and sustaining peace. Therefore, the UN system here in Sierra Leone, in collaboration with other development partners, stands ready to support Sierra Leone to be a value-adding and impactful non-permanent member of the UN Security Council from 2024 to 2025. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmad, for those very kind comments. We have now reached the high point of this occasion, and it's now my singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. T.S. Maad.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I have a different voice. This is the voice of the season. One of the effects of democracy, you have to talk and convince people, and I have so many people to convince. So I've been talking and talking, and I'm not done. So this is a season of voice. Please permit me to talk to you. You will get used to the former voice as president. When it's all over, I'm done. Madam First Lady, ministers of government, members of the diplomatic and consular corps, our distinguished partners and friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On Tuesday, 6 June, our great nation was elected to serve in the non-permanent category of the United Nations Security Council for a two-term commencing 2024. Sierra Leone was elected by an overwhelming majority of the United Nations General Assembly, as you know already. 188 out of 192 countries. Of course, we are an endorsed candidate of the African Union already. So today, as we gather here to celebrate this very momentous achievement, which is a cause for national pride, we must take a moment to celebrate Sierra Leone's great achievement at the heart of the international system. But remember, when I was elected president in April 2018, I pledged to our people that I will transform Sierra Leone's international reputation and standing. And as you know, when I talk, I do. However, late in the day, this came as a big surprise, and this was a gift by the United Nations on the eve of our election. With deliberate foreign policy and international cooperation strategy, our election to the UN Security Council affirms that our nation's size will always belie the magnitude of our achievement when we set our minds to achieving great success. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is very different from the world of 1971 when we last served on the United Nations Security Council. Since then, our nation has had to address multiple human security challenges that for several years brought it regularly to the attention of the Security Council itself. The many bold peacemaking, peacekeeping, and peace-building decisions taken over 20 years ago by the Security Council to address Sierra Leone's civil conflict had a tremendous impact on the ground. The massive international military and diplomatic engagements to end the war in our sub-region laid the foundation for the peace and security that we enjoy today. With direct experience of the shared national and international multi-stakeholder success in restoring peace in our nation, we can speak with authority and bring a depth of understanding and passionate commitment to advancing global human security agenda. Our presence on the UN Security Council represents our unique success as a democratic, peaceful country that has transitioned from a decade-long civil war. Therefore, Sierra Leone will bring a wealth of first-hand experience, drawing from an experience in conflict resolution, the role of women in peacekeeping and reconciliation processes, accountability, amnesty, and human rights. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we accede to the UN Security Council with clearly defined objectives that we believe are achievable with transparent international global cooperation within a multilateral rules-based order. Under the theme, partnership, multilateralism, and representative approach to sustain the global peace and security. During our 2-year tenure on the Security Council, we aim to contribute to the mission of the Security Council and the African Union agenda, with a focus on enhancing 7 shared priorities, which are 1, peacemaking, 2, peacekeeping, 3, human rights, 4, accountability, 5, prioritizing the broader role of women and youth in the pursuit of global peace and security, with a focus on sexual and gender-based violence and promoting and protecting the rights of women. 6, terrorism and new threats to peace, including the impact of climate change on global development, peace and human security. And 7, a reformed Security Council that provides for the meaningful and equitable representation across all regions of the world, especially Africa. These 7 priorities are rooted in our firm commitment to international cooperation based on a multilateral rules-based order and a reformed United Nations Security Council that provides equitable representation across all regions of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, our successful bid for the non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council resulted from sustained teamwork and collaboration. So first, I would like to thank the Honorable Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Jude Jallo, for his unconditional support for the bid process and his leadership in implementing my vision of a successful bid for a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council. Second, I extend our profound gratitude to the governments and people of Africa for their unwavering and unconditional demonstration of solidarity throughout the process. Sierra Leone's success is Africa's success. Third, I must also register Sierra Leone's gratitude to the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, for his magnanimity in graciously endorsing Sierra Leone to represent ECOWAS and the African Union. Fourth, I thank member states of the United Nations for their overwhelming support and trust in my administration. Our diplomatic partners played a significant role in mobilizing and galvanizing the support of member states to vote for Sierra Leone. I'm delighted and honored that you have joined us today to celebrate this enormous success. To our friends, the diplomatic corps and our development partners, thank you for consistently supporting my government's development efforts towards building a resilient and inclusive nation and supporting the progress that we have made in strengthening our peace and democracy. My government looks forward to deepening and broadening our relationships and partnerships with our bilateral and development partners, to make Sierra Leone's tenure at the UN Security Council successful and more meaningful for Sierra Leone, Africa, and the world. Last but not the least, certainly, let me thank and acknowledge the individual and collective efforts of our competent nationals who did the heavy lifting to secure Sierra Leone's return to the United Nations Security Council after over a half-century. The election of Sierra Leone to the primary global decision-making organ on peace and security matters at the United Nations was arduous. Let me take this opportunity, therefore, to thank and commend the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor David Francis, who is unavoidably absent, and his team, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. They deserve an applause. The mission in New York was at the front line, and they did a great job. Addis Ababa, Geneva, for their tremendous efforts to actualizing our vision. I am extremely proud of all of you. Additionally, I thank the team from the Office of the President and across various ministries and departments and agencies who supported our bid in their different ways. Let us celebrate the success of our collective efforts. Soon, we'll be hard at work at the UN Security Council as we strive to make our world a fairer, safer, and better place for us all. Finally, I congratulate every Sierra Leonean on this momentous United Nations Security Council achievement. Our presence on the Security Council will bolster our nation's diplomatic standing and contribute to its economic development and social progress, ultimately benefiting our people and bolstering a brighter future for the land that we love. On that note, may God bless us all, our homeland, Sierra Leone, and make her more peaceful, greater, and stronger. Thank you.
As we continue to thank His Excellency the President, may we give another resounding applause for what we have seen and indeed for what we have heard. And we know indeed that it is true. We have a visionary leader and we have a vision, and that is taking us forward, even to the highest heights. We have now come to the end of this event, but before we do, we have a very unique personality who is going to give the closing. She has made immense gains in our own right in the multilateral scene in the international system, but she is also an iconic figure in Sierra Leone. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Fatima Bilo, the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, our First Lady.
Thank you very much. You know, Mr. President was just talking about his voice, because this is the season of saving your voice. And I told the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I said, today I really don't want to do any talking. I want to save it for Putloko. And that's the reason why I'm doing the vote of thanks. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, my dearest Honorable Ministers, the Chairman of our great party, the SLPP, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, our guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute pleasure to have you all here this afternoon to celebrate such a wonderful, wonderful achievement by His Excellency and, by extension, the Republic of Sierra Leone. Excellency's tenacity to change the narrative for our country is the reason why we're here today. And I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule, even though today was marked as a day that was supposed to be another day in Freetown, but the Commander-in-Chief is here. So I'm so pleased that you all could make it here this afternoon to celebrate with us, to celebrate peace, to celebrate cohesion, and to celebrate oneness, because that is what His Excellency stands for. A lot of you are here today. We are all busy. There's a political season in our country, a season that some people are scared, some people are happy, some people don't know what to do. But I want to assure you that the peace we enjoy in this country is a peace fought for by His Excellency, because he was once a military man. And when you're a military man, you understand the value of peace. And that peace is what we want to nurture, and that peace is what we want to keep in our country. And I want to assure you all that we'll have a peaceful and fair, in fact, let me repeat that, a peaceful and fair election. And come June 24, you have nothing to worry about, because His Excellency has said, we are going to the poll, not as violent people. We're going to the poll as Sierra Leoneans. We are going to vote and vote for a leader that we believe deserves to be the leader of this country. And your being here today is to show to all of you that you all matters. Every one of you matter in Sierra Leone, and is to also assure you people that you have nothing to worry about. Sierra Leone is peaceful, and Sierra Leone will remain peaceful, and will continue to cherish and protect the peace that we enjoy today. So I want to say thank you to you all for coming. Thank you for your support to Sierra Leone's bid. Thank you to the ministry. Thank you to the mission in New York and all the people who have worked so hard in making sure we gather here today. And I want to say thank you for the people who managed to put this event together on a very short notice, the Office of the First Lady. Thank you so very much, Madam Phyllis. And of course, Ambassador Domaina, for taking your time out of your schedule to make sure we started the preparation for this event last night. And I'm happy to see the turnout. And I want to say thank you to all the people who made the food, to the people who served the food, the people who served the drinks, our securities, the cleaners. Everybody matters. And what we do, everybody matters to His Excellency the President. And I want to say again, thank you so very much for coming. May God bless you all.
And thank you very much once again.
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now. Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
And the other key players who were part of this whole achievement that Sierra Leone has made over almost 53 years ago. And here we have the press secretary for State House, Yusuf Keketoma. So, and as everybody is saying, this is a historic achievement for the country. And what does this mean to this administration after almost 53 years?
Well, this is the clearest endorsement from the world that President Bill needs to go for another second term. Imagine you have, out of 192 countries, 188 countries endorsing your president and your country to go to the Security Council, to sit there, not only as a vote, but also as a voice. So it means that the world has seen a president and a leader who is very progressive, who has the focus on young people, on women, who has the focus on peace building, and a range of other issues. And I believe that it is a clarion call to Sierra Leoneans and voters that the president that you have is trustworthy and is credible, and you need to give him another term to continue to do more progressive things for the country and the world at large. Because remember, even aside from being a member of the Security Council, he has also been the chairman for CITEN, the chairman for APRM, is also the co-chair for Transforming Education Summit. So there are many responsibilities he has had globally, and he has demonstrated enough to show the world that you have a global champion and a global leader. And Sierra Leone needs this man more than ever before. And this is a pivotal opportunity for us to move our country forward.
Right. The term is commencing in 2024 and run through 2025. So as Sierra Leoneans, as the president has said, this is not just a victory for his administration, but a victory for Sierra Leone and a victory for Africa as a whole. So what are we expecting to see during his tenure in that office?
Well, there are 7 priorities, which obviously were the priorities that anchored the campaign for the Security Council. And these priorities range from peace building, peacekeeping, campaign on small arms, against terrorism, and also on the reform of the Security Council. So these are key issues that he's going to focus on once we get to the Security Council. And I think he has the energy, he has the dynamism and determination to move them forward.
Thank you so much. And that was Yusuf Keketoma, the press secretary for State House. And just highlighting some of the priorities that President Julius Maad will focus on, and not just to benefit Sierra Leone, but to benefit Africa as a whole. And just to give you some insights, the bid for the Security Council was done in 2022, and out of the 192 member states, 184 member states endorsed President Julius Maad, including the African Union and the ECOWAS. And this year, the election, we have seen that 4 more member state countries were added, making it 188, a landslide victory to earn the seat at the non-permanent category in the UN Security Council. And I agree, this is historic achievement for Sierra Leone, and citizens must celebrate for this, not just the ruling government, but citizens of Sierra Leone in general. And as we hear, the program has just ended, and we still try to, if we have time, we'll be able to talk to the UN representative, the permanent representative in New York. We will have something from him also, and I think we are lucky. We have the UN, this permanent representative representing Sierra Leone in the US. So could you please tell viewers your name? We already mentioned your name.
My name is Ambassador Alhaji Fande Toure. I am the permanent representative and Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the United Nations in New York.
Okay. And you have been from the start and onto the end of this road, achieving this. So if you were to give us an overview of how all of this started.
Basically what happened was that the president, before he assumed office as president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, had a clear vision as to where he wants Sierra Leone to be. So firstly, he said, look, the standing of Sierra Leone is not good, so I have to rebrand Sierra Leone. And that was part of his manifesto. And so I was working with the United Nations with all the experience.
Attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
And that's where the whole thing started. And then from there, I want to express our gratitude to the African Union for overwhelmingly endorsing Sierra Leone to go to represent West Africa. And I also want to show our gratitude as well to ECOWAS for also endorsing Sierra Leone to go into the council. So that's where it all started. So once we went over, then we started the campaigning. It was a very, very difficult one because there were 6 countries, and then 5 of those countries had to go into the council. And Sierra Leone was representing West Africa, and so the votes were cast. But before then, it was a very tough battle because there were a lot of diplomatic shuttles. We started with Nigeria. Nigeria wanted to compete, but His Excellency President Julius Maad, due to his proactiveness and then diplomacy, Nigeria had to step down for Sierra Leone to represent West Africa. And so a lot of diplomatic efforts were made by the Foreign Ministry and by our colleagues as well in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. All of them gave their support for us to get to Sierra Leone to where we are today.
Okay, and during your statement, you said, because after almost 53 years, so to speak, that President Julius Maad is the only president that was able to man up enough to do another bid. So is that what prompted that?
It's because, like I said, the president in his vision, he believed that Sierra Leone deserved its proper place in the international system. And therefore, when he took over, he gave specific instruction that he wants Sierra Leone to be where it is. And today, we are a nation. I am a very proud Sierra Leonean. I'm proud to be a Sierra Leonean. I'm telling you, because when we went for the elections, you can't believe, out of 192 member states that voted, 184 voted for Sierra Leone. That is a huge success. That is rebranding of Sierra Leone. I mean, that shows that the international community strongly supports Sierra Leone, and they know that President Bio can deliver, and therefore had no doubt that Sierra Leone deserves its place in the UN Security Council. And so we started the campaign. Like I said, it was a very tough one. I had to have meetings with over 173 ambassadors. That is 1-on-1. We had a meeting. I had to explain our priorities as a nation. And the priorities, maybe if I can just go through that, the priorities include: 1, international peace and security, because we have the experience. We had our war. We went through the war. I was part of it because I was in the military at that time. I went through the entire process, and today it's a big success, a monumental one, a generational one, for us to be there. So that's one of our priorities. Our second priority is human rights. I mean, we all know what happened during our war. So we say no to any violence in the country, and so that's one of our priorities: human rights. And women, peace and security is another priority for Sierra Leone, which almost every member state looks forward to having peace and security. Viewers may recall that sometime last year we were able to pass 3 key resolutions. One of those resolutions had to do with widowhood. Another resolution had to do with international access to justice for rape victims. And then, of course, we have the November 18, which is declared. All of this was done under President Bill. November 18 was declared the day for abuse of children, So we had to champion that. And viewers may recall Her Excellency, the First Lady of Sierra Leone, was in the UN to present the resolution, to table the resolution on behalf of the President of Sierra Leone, which is the very first time in our history. And then, of course, we have other priorities that has to do with terrorism and others.
All right. So, okay, lastly, before you go, you mentioned other appointments to a lot of Sierra Leoneans. Are those appointments as a result of winning this UN Security Council seat?
Oh, no. Those appointments we are not. Most of those appointments were done within the past 2 years. That during the time I was serving there, most of them. But of course, some of them were done before, and I want at this juncture to acknowledge the role played by my predecessor, Ambassador Ali Kaba, who was also very, very active in the UN at that time, because he secured the election of Justice Miata Samba into the International Criminal Court. But of course, in addition to those ones, like I said, we now have so many other Sierra Leoneans in working in the UN. This includes, of course, Zainab Bandura, who is the Under Secretary General and the head of the office in Nairobi. We have also Sir Jusu, who is our Financial Secretary. He's also been appointed into the ICC board, and we have other elections even coming up. Like I said, the president believes in inclusion, and we also have one of our colleagues. He is also a lawyer, and he was an ambassador at that time, and the president has given his full support that we should campaign for him vigorously, for him to also acquire one of the positions as judge of the international law of the sea.
Thank you so much for talking to us. So that was the UN Security Council, UN permanent representative person representing Sierra Leone in New York. So viewers, we are thankful to you all for being with us. We just celebrated with President Bio the winning of the UN Security Council seat at the non-permanent category, where Sierra Leone was over 50 years ago, but he has been the second president in the Republic of Sierra Leone to gain that achievement here for the people of Sierra Leone. And the UN Security Council is the highest decision-making body globally when it comes to peace and security. And let's celebrate with President Julius Maada Bio, because it's not just an achievement for his administration, but Sierra Leone and Africa as a whole. Thank you for being with us, and do have a blessed day.
You know, my money business and where I can because who said they know it's not the problem, not the business. Now they give me money, and then I leave. I want to try for them money, and business they give me money.
Coming as CTC, I realize for cancel. What's government open and I must for say land of cancel. So I need to list the black man talk. I need to see other possibilities. And the country is so peaceful. Anyhow, they do say they do business peaceful and not war, perfect. So all the